The game has changed. On Wednesday, August 27th, The Bold and the Beautiful delivered a jarring shift in tone, flipping loyalties, exposing cracks in carefully constructed lies, and setting the stage for one of the most brutal reckonings Los Angeles has ever seen. Bill Spencer is done being manipulated. He's not the fool everyone thinks he is not anymore. While Luna continues to play innocent, while Poppy walks the line between silence and survival, and while Sheila plays the part of reformed monster, a darker, far more strategic storm brews behind every word, every glance, every secret. This isn't just about family or loyalty anymore. This is about control. And Bill wants it back at any cost. Luna's mask is slipping. From the outside, she's still the composed, sweet-natured daughter, the one who captured hearts and earned sympathy. But Bill has seen enough. The inconsistencies, the half-truths, the well-timed tears. Something doesn't add up, and Bill, more seasoned than most at reading between the lines, doesn't buy the act anymore. He's watched too many people pretend. Too many women smile while hiding knives behind their backs. Not this time. Not with her. So he stops playing defense. He builds a trap. He baits Luna into thinking he's still under her spell, still softened by sentiment. But behind the scenes, every move is calculated. Every word is recorded. Every expression studied. Because the truth isn't just about what Luna's done, it's about why she's done it, and more importantly, who pushed her to do it. Enter Poppy. Once the protective mother, now a woman drowning in compromise. She's stuck between the safety of her daughter and the crushing grip of the past. A past that includes lies she swore she'd never speak, and secrets she thought were buried deep enough to never surface. But they're surfacing now. Fast. And worse, Sheila Carter knows them. Knows enough to destroy everything. And she's not known for restraint. The confrontation between Sheila and Poppy wasn't just another warning. It was war. Sheila didn't yell. She didn't threaten in the way people expected. She simply said the truth with terrifying calm. If you keep covering for Luna, if you keep hiding what I know you're hiding, I will step in. And when I do, there will be no undoing it. It wasn't a bluff. It wasn't a warning. It was a promise. Sheila has nothing to lose anymore. She's clawed her way back from the brink, from prison, from death, from infamy. Now she walks around as someone people are calling trustworthy. A joke, maybe. But Sheila's playing the long game. And right now, that game includes exposing the one person who thinks she's above it all, Poppy. Poppy's face said it all. Fear, anger, desperation. She knows what's at stake. The secret about Luna, the real reason behind her sudden rise, the quiet whispers about paternity, the connections to people who should have never been part of her world, it's all coming undone. And if she doesn't act fast, it won't just be Luna who burns. It'll be her, too. Sheila's offer: tell the truth and walk away, or stay quiet and watch the world fall, as a blade hanging over her neck. But Poppy isn't the only one making moves. Bill, calculating as ever, isn't waiting for anyone to come clean. He's already 5 steps ahead. The real twist? He's working with Lee. Quietly. Strategically. And for once, they're on the same side. Their shared concern isn't just family anymore, it's justice. Lee, a surgeon by trade but sharp as steel when pushed, knows timelines. She knows details. And together, she and Bill are reconstructing everything. Phone logs, medical records, travel dates, birth certificates. Every piece of the puzzle that's been hidden, they're pulling it into the light. What they find, it's damning. Someone's been orchestrating Luna's life behind the curtain, controlling narratives, forging paths with precision. And that someone is closer than anyone expected. Bill's instincts were right. This wasn't just Luna trying to get ahead. This was methodical, directed. And now he wants names. He wants motives. And he wants blood. While Luna remains unaware of the walls closing in, she continues her performance, all smiles, all innocence. She thinks the storm is passing. but it's only gathering strength. She suspects her mother is hiding something, but she doesn't know Sheila has already backed Poppy into a corner so tight there's no exit that doesn't come with a cost. And now Poppy must choose. Expose her daughter's biggest secret, maybe even shatter her life, or go head-to-head with Sheila and risk losing everything. The tension is unbearable. Bill pushes harder. He confronts Poppy, calm but ice cold, asking questions she can't answer without breaking. He doesn't yell. He doesn't threaten. He just stares and waits because he already knows. He's waiting for her to confess. But she doesn't. Not yet. And that makes her guilty. Bill walks away from that conversation more sure than ever. She's hiding something. And it's something big. Later, Lee brings him more evidence. Emails, messages, a photo, a date. One that changes everything. One that proves Luna wasn't where she said she was and that someone helped cover it up. The final nail in the coffin. Bill takes it all in silently, jaw tight, rage burning low. He's not going to explode. He's going to end this strategically. He picks up his phone. One call. No emotion. Just 3 words. It's time. Now, meanwhile, Sheila watches from the shadows. She knows Bill is closing in. She knows Poppy is cracking. But she doesn't flinch. Because for the first time, the chaos is working in her favor. And she's not about to stop it. As night falls over Los Angeles, the players are set. Bill has the evidence. Sheila has the leverage. Poppy has the fear. And Luna's still pretending the world is hers. But not for long. Everything's about to unravel. Not in weeks. Not in days. In hours. Because Bill Spencer is done playing nice. And when he finally strikes, there will be no warning shot. Only fallout. The bold and the beautiful August 27th. Hope breaks down, secrets erupt, and hearts collide. Wednesday, August 27th, was nothing short of explosive on the bold and the beautiful. In a storm of heartbreak, deception, and raw emotion, Hope finally crumbled under the weight of her tangled relationships, revealing the truth to Deacon in a gut-wrenching confession. But this wasn't just another tearful moment. This was a turning point for Hope, for Liam, for Carter, and for everyone caught in the ripple effect of their choices. The drama has been building for weeks. Hope's world had been on shaky ground ever since the fallout with the Forresters over the corporate power play. After Hope and Carter conspired to take Forrester Creations, the victory was short-lived. Carter, plagued by guilt and crushed by the moral consequences of what they'd done, ultimately returned the company to the Forresters. The backlash was immediate. Hope found herself alienated from Ridge, Steffi, and even Brooke. Carter, though remorseful, stood by Hope, trying to rebuild a future together, one she wasn't sure she still wanted. But the real detonator, Grace's devastating lie. Grace manipulated the entire landscape when she spread the false news that Liam had a terminal brain tumor. A cruel, calculated move. And Liam believed it. For weeks, he walked through life thinking he was on borrowed time. The man was preparing to die. Everyone around him responded the only way they knew how, with love, with compassion, with fierce loyalty. Hope, shaken to her core, dropped everything. All the bitterness, all the broken trust between her and Liam was suddenly irrelevant. The father of her child was dying. And in those fragile days, something between them rekindled. Not just friendship. Not just forgiveness. Something real. Something emotional. Something no one, not even Hope herself, was ready to face. Now the lie is exposed. Liam's not dying. The tumor never existed. And as the dust settles, the emotional carnage is far from over. Hope, torn between guilt, confusion, and an ache that won't go away, confided in Deacon. Their conversation wasn't just a recap of recent events, it was an emotional unraveling. She told him everything, how Carter rushed to propose, desperate to cling to her before Liam slipped back into her heart. How she had said yes, more out of panic than certainty. How her nights were haunted by Liam's voice, his touch, his quiet moments of vulnerability. How the pretend tragedy brought back a very real truth that part of her still loved him. Deacon, caught between fatherly instincts and knowing when to stay silent, listened as Hope wept. She admitted that she and Liam had shared a connection again. Not physical, not yet, but something deep. Something that made her question everything about her future with Carter. Something that scared her. Meanwhile, Carter had no idea what was unraveling. All he knew was that Liam was still very much alive, and his closeness with Hope was becoming harder to ignore. Carter wasn't naive. He'd seen the way her eyes lingered when Liam entered a room. The way her laughter sounded different around him. Softer, sadder, more honest. He told himself it was just residual emotion from a time of crisis. He tried to believe that, but his instincts told him otherwise. So Carter acted. He suggested they elope. No more waiting. No more questions. Just the two of them leaving the mess behind and starting fresh somewhere else. Hope hesitated. She smiled. She nodded. But something in her eyes made Carter pause. Something that said she wasn't ready. Something that screamed she was still tied to someone else. Liam, meanwhile, was stuck between rage and regret. Grace's manipulation had shattered his trust, and while he was grateful not to be dying, he couldn't ignore what the fake diagnosis had unearthed. The tenderness between him and Hope had returned in full force. She had been there every second, holding his hand, sleeping in a chair next to his bed, whispering memories of their life together. It wasn't just nostalgia. It was love. Still alive. Still dangerous. And it terrified him. He knew Hope was with Carter now. Engaged. Trying to move on. But he also saw the conflict in her every time they spoke. Every time their hands accidentally touched. Every time their daughter asked why they weren't together again. It was all too raw. And what happens next? That's where things get complicated. The Forresters aren't staying silent. Ridge, having regained control of the company, isn't exactly eager to welcome Hope or Carter back into the fold. Brooke is caught in the middle, loyal to her daughter, yet tired of defending her choices. Steffi remains suspicious of Hope's loyalties, especially as she notices the growing chemistry between Hope and Liam. She warns her father, she warns her brother, and eventually, she confronts Hope directly. That confrontation is brutal. Steffi accuses Hope of playing both sides, using Carter for stability while emotionally clinging to Liam. Hope fires back, accusing Steffi of never wanting her and Liam to be happy. Words fly. Old wounds reopen. And in the background, Thomas watches silently, still nursing his own heartbreak over Hope, knowing he may never get another chance. As the week barrels forward, pressure mounts. Hope must make a choice. Carter wants commitment now. Liam, though not asking outright, is clearly hoping for a second chance. Deacon encourages his daughter to listen to her heart, not just her fears. But what does Hope truly want? In a private moment, she admits to herself that she doesn't know. That's the tragedy. Hope is caught between the man who stood by her during one of the darkest times of her life and the man whose near death brought their love screaming back to life. Carter is dependable, respectful, deeply in love. Liam is familiar, passionate, and the father of her child. Both men represent pieces of her past and possibilities for her future. But choosing one means severing ties with the other. And in a show like The Bold and the Beautiful, no decision is ever without consequence. By the end of the episode, a storm is brewing literally and figuratively. Rain pounds the windows of the Logan estate as Hope sits alone, the engagement ring from Carter heavy in her palm. Liam sends a text just for words, "We need to talk," and across town, Carter stares at the same stormy sky, unaware that his perfect future might be unraveling one memory at a time. Wednesday wasn't just another day in Los Angeles. It was a reckoning. The past came roaring back. Lies were exposed. Truths were faced. And Hope, the woman torn between two very different men, was left with no clear path forward. And it's only the beginning. Stay tuned. Because in this world, Every whisper matters. Every glance has meaning. And every choice comes with a cost.
Oh.